no light shineth upon my sweated brow, and no road marks the dirty ground upon which I stand. What foul plague hath fallen the streets of Black Mountain? From which I came but hence, bearing a letter for dear Connie. This letter, which I hold so bravely in my hands. Its daring words, they spake as such, they say. I have no idea exactly what they say. Something dearly important, I should imagine. But what is in a letter? Neither hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part therein belonging to a man. Hey, there's a mic, boo-boo. Tell them what you are. The mic's too high.
Thank you.
We'll be short, because it's dinner.
I'm a refined from the bathrobe, commando from the pants, buffalo from the hat. And I'm going to be at the flyer mob tonight. So, yeah.
Get right ahead.
It's the moral of every tragedy. Murder, slaughter, battle, absurdity. We are animals, yet this truth is a heresy, a weakness, an ignoble admission, a spiritual fracture in the ridgeline of our architecture, because we cannot possibly be what we are.
At the viewing, waiting for Uncle Barton's body to suddenly sputter and lurch to life, the way his old tractor did each spring. I know he is watching me when I turn on the tool shed's bare bulb that reaches up into that cathedral of bent nails, rust, and kerosene. He is whispering in the bottomlands. It is not just the wind and the pines, but him. Sometimes I can hear him. Walking in the cornfield, just a few rows in, though I've never parted the stalks to look, I am wholly sure that it is him. Uncle Barton had found a lot of artifacts on his land, especially near the river. Old Catawba pottery shards and arrowheads. When we were children, Uncle Barton would walk in the woods with my brother and me. And he would tell us that he could hear the Indians singing in the woods near the river. That it wasn't just the rocks and the water, but voices. That he was wholly sure that it was the singing of the first people to live there. Maybe a week before he died, I was out at the old farm and Uncle Barton brought up the voices. He asked me if I remembered him telling me about those Indians singing. Sure I did. My brother did too. Well, said Uncle Barton, they're still there. But if they build that goddamn highway, won't nobody be able to hear them. Maybe not ever again. The old place had been renovated, but the ghost was still there. In the timbers, his voice a loose piece of tin, conversing with the westerly wind. I put the key in the tractor's ignition, but it is his hand that turns it. Reaching into the Oliver's old toolbox, his arm reaches in too, helping me search out a block of wood, a length of chain. It was a good thing Uncle Barton had died a year ago happy, instead of seeing the bottomland dissected by the bypass, the stream choked with debris, the special powers silenced by an oily film, the soccer fields replacing tobacco, the chemicals green the turf, but the runoff into the groundwater so that they still get cancer, those kids. Their parents doing all that driving. Used to be a night like this was filled with nothing but croakers and lightning bugs. Now it's nothing but brake lights and car horns. If God had meant for man to drive, he would have created him with his middle finger eternally extended. It was a good thing Uncle Barton had died a year ago happy. Train engineers don't even blow their own whistles anymore. Sure, it's safer. A computer never forgets. Maybe all that safety will give us space to spin yarns like vibrant, transcendent, spiders, orbs of energy. Or maybe we were just atrophy in a casing that lacked sweet sap. Nourishment. The power company murdered the mammoth oak in the pasture, paved it over. I sold the last of the cows and became wholly convinced Uncle Barton had died happy a year ago. 1 second. Yes.
Rorschach in the briar patch, the brush pile, the copperhead coiled against the stump, the brown grassy tendrils reaching over the field trail. Rorschach in the waltzing barn shadows, the dewy cornflower bloom, the black widow crouched beneath the busted cinder block. Rorschach in the diadem of the fire pit, the fat, fresh mongrel turd, the frenetic song of the blue flies arriving. Rorschach and the blackbirds darting through sunlight, and the brown rabbit nosing the sweet grass under the pulpwood trailer. Rorschach in the expanding pupil, the ginger's green iris, the uncle and aunt of his gate, stirring the morning's arbor. Rorschach. They sat in the Baptist church parking lot making their plans. Sam would grab an armload of records and dash from the curb market where the aisle opened straight to the door, and Larry's waiting Sirocco. Sam flipped through the albums. He wanted all the Kiss and the Skinner, and if he could manage to move them to the P's, he grabbed the Poco that had rows of Cimarron. Outside, Larry was watching for cops, thinking they shouldn't have smoked that last joint at the church when Sam came hoofing out the door. The bell jangling as he left through toward the car, his arms stacked with a whole hack of records, the market clerk in pursuit. His red apron flapping as Larry shoved the car door open and Sam stumbled, fell headfirst into the seat. When Larry popped the clutch, the car door swung wide open, catching the clerk in his knee, his face and arm. They barked rubber till they left Highland and headed south toward their Hog Hill trailer. Excited, they examined their booty. Some Skinner, the Poco, a band called Steely Dan, 1 Kiss, and 10 copies of KC and the fucking Sunshine Band.